Here we go. Alright, now I gotta remember the right order of things to click and unclick here, because Rosewater is weird, and it wants to show my Steam... Oops. Yes, wants to show my Steam page instead of the game. Just ignore that, okay? we'll get to the game, I promise. There we go. Hey, hello, Choco Socks. Thank you for helping me test my chat. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another session of... Plug things in, sorry. Of Rosewater, which is a lovely point-and-click adventure game that just came out pretty recently. And let's see, if I recall correctly, we are on basically doing a big old road trip. And we're having adventures along the way. And we are currently sitting at this lovely campfire. So let's just kind of chill out with my party. And talk to everyone, see how everyone's doing.
Nadine and I are sharing that tent. Hope she's not a snorer. Jake and Danny's tent. I had my doubts about that contraption, but it's really come through so far. Kind of hypnotic. Doing all right, Miss Johnson?
I'd say so. If you'll excuse me, it's been a long day. I need to rest up for tomorrow's drive. Night all.
Wait. Oh, okay. I was like, "There's no, don't tell me there's only one person I can talk to." Nadine.
How are you doing, Nadine?
It's been quite a journey so far. In any case, I look forward to seeing what tomorrow will bring. I hate to leave such merry company, but I'm suddenly feeling very sleepy. Please excuse me. I'll see you all in the morning.
Sleep tight, Miss Redbird.
Night.
So, Danny, where'd you learn to cook chili anyway?
I sorta had to learn. This was back when I ran with those folks I mentioned. We were living rough for a while, and I got sick of the same watery, gamey stew every night. So one day I just scooped out some beans and whatever I could lay my hands on and came up with this recipe. Guess they liked it. I was in charge of supper from then on.
Hell of a day, huh, Jake?
I'll say. It's disheartening to know there's so many men out there hell-bent on bringing others to ruination. But at least we saw through his ruse.
It's as they say. There's a mark born every minute, one to trim 'em and one to knock 'em. You look like you're enjoying yourself.
And why should I not be? We have fine weather, good food, good company. Are you not?
Well, sure. I mean, this is great and all, but...
But nothing. Here, take a drink. Celebrate.
Sure, why not?
There was already some booze in the chili.
Woo! That's got a kick.
Excelente. You really do know how to have a good time. To new friends.
New friends.
Time for me to call it a night.
Night, Harley.
Buenas noches.
Sleep well.
Fall asleep on top of Nadine.
We leave within the hour. Don't leave anything behind.
Morning, ladies. Sleep well?
Somehow, despite Phil snoring up a storm. Sounded like he was right there in the tent with Nadine and me.
Feller works hard, plays hard, and sleeps hard. Nothing wrong with that.
Is Danny still sleeping?
Nah, he was up at the crack this morning and wandered off someplace.
Oh, you don't know where he went?
Now, this ain't unusual for him. Reckon he needs some alone time every so often, so I'll leave him to it.
He just wandered off by himself? Is he all right?
I'm sure he's fine. But just in case anything's amiss, why don't you go look for him while Miss Redbird and I pack up the tents? I'd ask Miss Johnson, but I don't want an earful.
All right, I'll go.
Fair enough.
Danny? You out here? Where in the ether could he have gone?
Suddenly, I'm wondering if we can trust Danny.
The river's pretty calm here, but gets rougher downstream. No idea what these are, but they're pretty.
They look kind of like California poppies.
Daisies, I think. The river's
Hey, there he is.
Danny, there you are.
Oh, hi, Harley.
Didn't you hear me calling?
Oh, sorry. No. Sound of the river drowned it out, I guess.
Is everything all right with you?
Sure. I'm fine.
Come on, Danny, you can tell me.
It's just, I miss Petey, my friend. Today
Aw.
is 3 years since he died, so I just wanted to be alone with my thoughts.
Are we talking, natural death? What happened?
It's a long story.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
I need to collect my thoughts first. Thinking about it always gets me tied up in knots. Because, well, I never got a chance to mourn properly. It all went down so fast. He was gone before I knew it. And I was starting over someplace new. I never got to say goodbye.
Here's a thought. How about we make a kind of memorial for your friend? Maybe you can say a few words or something? Might help.
It's a great idea.
We'll need something to serve as a marker.
What do you have in mind?
Well, you knew Petey. What do you think he'd have liked?
Maybe a rock would work as a marker?
Let's see what we can find.
Yay, rocks.
Hey, Danny?
Yes, Harley.
What was Petey's full name?
His full Chinese name was Si Pengfei, but we called him Petey, just like everybody else called me Danny.
Oh, cool.
So your name's not Danny Luo?
It's Lo Dan Yu, but it was easier to switch it around to make it sound more Vespuccian.
Just like Phil.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool.
Funny, you're the first non-Chinese person I've ever told my real name. Not even Jake knows it.
Well, I'm honored.
Aw.
Were you and Petey close?
We grew up together. He was more like a brother to me than my actual brother.
Tell me about some of the things Petey liked.
Well, he used to play the harmonica pretty badly. He liked my cooking. He used to call me Beanie as a joke. And, his favorite color was blue.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had this ratty old blue shirt he always wore. It was falling apart. Smelled awful. But he insisted it was lucky. Made the rest of us wear something blue for luck.
Hence your vest.
Yeah,
Aw.
Had a chance to collect your thoughts?
suppose so.
Okay. So what happened to Petey?
Well, Petey and I left El Presidio along with 5 of our friends. We were looking for new lives out on the frontier. I told my parents we were pooling our money together to buy a farm, which was true. Except, we didn't actually have any money. Petey took charge and we all started off working odd jobs here and there. But he got impatient. He got it into his head that it would be easy money to rob a stagecoach. I didn't much care for the idea, but once Petey put his mind to something, there was no turning back. So the big day came, and things didn't go so well. Petey didn't make it. I was the only one who did.
Oof.
I'm sorry.
Me too. I just wish I'd said something more. Push back harder on the whole idea. Honestly, talking about it helps. So, thanks, I guess.
You know, I lost my brother too, not that long ago. His name was Bill.
Really? I'm sorry.
Dead 6 years now, but not a day goes by I don't think about him. The pain never really stops. Some days it hurts just a smidge less. It's the most you can hope for.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, how are you feeling?
Oh, better, I guess. It's nice to be able to do something for Petey.
Could you remind me what it is we're looking for?
A nice rock to serve as a marker.
Right. These flowers are a nice shade of blue. The current's really strong.
Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about where this might be going.
Would this rock make a suitable marker?
No, it's not the right shape.
It's pretty big, too. Hmm.
Striking little purple flowers. Hey,
Yes, Harley.
how about this rock here?
No, it's too big.
Looks like it fell off that tree not long ago.
Stick. Stick, stick.
Just a plain old branch. Looks fairly sturdy.
You keep that, Harley.
It's especially rough here. It's a... See that rock in the river?
Oh, yeah. It'd be perfect for a marker.
Will this make a good marker?
There's gotta be a better one.
It's stuck in the riverbed. I can't pull it out on my own.
Can I go back this way?
I'm not ready to go back to camp yet. I'll wait for you here.
Okay.
Nothing but ashes and a few charred bits of wood.
Hey, MRA 6. Thank you also for helping me test my chat.
I had my doubts.
You did it!
Where do you want it?
How about by that tree? That's good. Just need a couple more things.
Like what?
The stone isn't a marker until it's been marked, so we need some way to do that. And I'd like to put something nice on the memorial. People usually do flowers, right?
Suppose so.
Would you mind if I stayed here? I want to think about what to write.
Sure. I'll be back with the stuff once I've found it. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
Could you remind me what it is we're looking for?
Something we can use to mark the stone? Some flowers to put on the memorial?
Right. Nothing but ashes and a few charred bits of wood. This should work to mark the stone. Some charred wood from last night's campfire. It's pretty ashy.
Well, we didn't bury anyone, but I think we had this whole conversation before you showed up. But Danny here was telling me about his friend Petey, who died. Was it three years ago? I think is what it said. So he's not here, but we're making a memorial to honor him because Danny never got a chance to mourn properly.
Here, you can mark the stone with this.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Holly.
These flowers are a nice shade of blue.
Lovely.
They're a pretty shade of blue. How about these flowers? Petey's favorite color, like you said.
Hey, yeah. These are perfect.
That's everything, right?
I think so. Well, I haven't got any incense paper, so this will have to do. It means a lot, you taking the time to do this. I'm sure you had better ways to spend the morning.
Can't think of any.
If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a bit.
Sure thing. See you back on the wagon.
Oh. Interesting. I bet there's like another scene that can happen there that involves like the river. Like that definitely looked like the kind of thing where I would have had to like jump, or someone would have had to like jump across the rocks for some reason or another. And I know that this game kind of gives you different scenes based on your relationship with the different characters. So I bet if I had had like a higher relationship with someone else, that might have been them, and would have had to do something else with the river, or something. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Phil?
Harley?
Now we've got some time. Care to tell me about how you came to Vespuccia?
I can appreciate your curiosity, although it is painful to relate. But you may as well know. I had assembled Lieutenant General de la Vega and several of my men in Jicotea, a small village on the Loyola River. We were preparing an operation to liberate the nearby town of Caballo Viejo. The Spanish army had it
Old
under
horse.
occupation for some weeks, seeking intelligence on our movements. But before we could act, they struck without warning, without mercy. They did not confine themselves to fighting armed revolutionary soldiers. Old men, women, children, all were valid targets in their eyes. All held collectively responsible for resisting imperial rule. Victory was out of the question. We were hopelessly outmatched. Many brave souls laid down their lives to allow innocents a chance for escape. As civilians fled the village, I led the retreat north with Lieutenant General de la Vega. We gathered what we could of our forces from other positions along the way. It was clear that the army would relentlessly target any village known to harbor revolutionary cells and administer the same treatment. I left Jicotea a smoking ruin. I could not allow that to happen again. Temporary exile was the only alternative.
Just how temporary has this exile been?
A little more than a month now. I find it not so easy to keep count of the days.
So, this revolution, what exactly is it you're fighting for?
What does any man who is oppressed fight for? Freedom. Simple as that. The Imperial government has grown fat on the labor of the masses. They torture and imprison anyone who dares speak out against their abuses. My people and I are straining to throw off the yoke of colonialism.
We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
What am I fighting for?
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Good book?
I'm not much of a literary critic, but it helps pass the time. Danny told me you're a writer. Have you published any books?
Me? No, books are way beyond my reach. I stick to articles and essays, and have trouble enough with those.
You shouldn't underestimate yourself. It wouldn't surprise me to see a book with your name on the cover someday.
Well, that's kind of you to say. Guess we'll see.
Folks, we're making a brief stop.
Yes, ma'am.
Any particular reason we've stopped, Miss Johnson?
I needed to stretch my legs. You might take advantage and do the same. We're off again in about 20 minutes.
Come on, Danny. Let's go have a look at that oil derrick.
Excuse me, ladies. I have some business to attend to.
He has to pee.
Both of you can do as you like. Just stay within sight.
Actually, I'm curious about this machine. Do you think I could ask you a few questions?
Oh, well, I suppose so.
Oh, cool.
Tools of the trade for an oil worker, I suppose. I don't need to bother them right now. I don't need...
But I wanna. I can't go after Phil. Fine.
Somebody's out here sniffing for a fortune.
Or just digging a very deep hole.
Funny how the best things are often found in the lowest of places. Come have a look, Harley.
Hello down there.
Who said that?
Up here.
Hi.
Afternoon to ya. What brings you folks to Cormac's oil rig?
Just passing through, friend. I was just saying you've a fine setup here.
Thank you, sir. It pleases Cormac to hear that. Sit tight. Just needs to make a slight adjustment. Then Cormac can come down for a chin wag.
Why does Cormac speak in the third person?
Whoops! Ah! Oh, damn! Clumsy Cormac.
Uh-oh.
Jeez, are you all right?
All right as rain. Not upright, though, no. Good thing you folks is here. Hates to be a bother, but Cormac is in a pickle. Could you, lend a hand? Cormac would be ever so grateful.
What did you drop down that hole? A hat, and I thought there was something else.
Looks extremely heavy. I hope it's secured.
Hey, we're still low.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah?
Any suggestions what to do?
That rope doesn't look too thick. Should be able to cut through it. The trick will be keeping our friend from falling headfirst into that pit.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, MRI6.
Got anything on you that could cut rope?
Afraid not. One of the others might.
We're gonna have to, like, pull him over to the side first.
Danny? Do you have anything sharp that might serve to cut the rope?
No, but I could always shoot it.
You think that will work?
Definitely.
Not a bad little setup.
That'll be plan B. B for bullet.
There's lots here, but nothing I can see that will help. Not a bad.
You okay over there, Cormac?
Hang on, sir. We'll get you
Eh.
down.
Cormac appreciated, miss. Not wishing to hurry you, but soon'd be preferable to later. The blood's starting to pool in Cormac's poor head.
Hang on, sir.
Doing all right, Mr. Cormac?
Aye. But, there's an awful lot of stars out for this time of day.
Uh-oh. I'd better do something. Don't worry, we...
Oh. Oh, no.
Cormac! Are you alive?
Oh, God, okay.
What do we do?
Get the others. We need help to pull him out.
Okay, wait. I want to restore. I want to actually
You're
try
very
helping
lucky
him.
you didn't break your neck.
Cormac's got a bit of cat in him.
You are making a habit of picking up the fallen, eh, Harley?
Men just keep dropping out of the sky.
We should be on our way.
Suppose Cormac should be thanking you for the help.
Sorry about the fall.
It's all right, miss. Cormac knew the risks when he took this job. Still beats what he used to do.
Come on. We got to get back on the road.
Sure you'll be okay on your own?
Yes, sir. Cormac can handle himself. Good luck getting where you're going.
Well, that's one way to solve the problem, but I want to find a better way. Oh, okay, wait. Oil rig. Okay. All right. Hey.
Sorry to interrupt, but
What is it?
there's a man at the oil derrick in dire need of help.
What happened?
He's caught on a rope hanging upside down. We're trying to get him down somehow.
And what do you want me to do about it?
Is there a ladder in the wagon?
Not anymore. Sorry.
I'm not sure what you can do, actually.
Thought as much.
That man at the derrick still needs help.
And what do you want me to do about it? Thought.
Sorry to interrupt, but
What is it?
this rope could be useful. Lots of uses for a sturdy piece of rope. Sorry to...
What?
That man...
And what? Thought.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah?
Any suggestions what to do?
That rope doesn't look too thick. Should be able to cut through it. The trick will be keeping our
Got anything?
afraid not.
Can you do anything with this?
Sure. I could lasso our friend and pull him over to us.
Sounds like a plan.
Do it. Uh-oh.
Hey now, here's some progress.
Uh.
Now you're getting Cormac down.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah?
Well, that's one leg.
How are you holding up?
Oh, just fine, my dear. Barely breaking a sweat.
Danny?
Hmm?
Do you have anything sharp that might serve to cut the rope?
No, but I could always shoot it.
You think that will work?
Definitely.
Danny?
Hmm?
All right then. Shoot him down.
Right now?
Well, let's see what happens.
Yes, now.
All right.
Hold tight, buddy.
Ah!
You got him! Let's pull him up, quick.
Okay. Surprised that worked.
Whew, that were a close one. You've saved Cormac. Many thanks.
All in a day's work, friend.
Are you alright? We have a healer with us if you need doctoring.
Ah, no need to trouble yourself. Cormac's feeling all right.
I'm amazed that worked.
How come you're doing this clearly dangerous work on your own?
It's not so bad. Cormac's used to this sort of thing. Cormac used to be a sewer worker in New Britannia, you see. It's all the same, really. Digging around in muck, tending to machinery. But Cormac's got more friends these days. Mud's much nicer to be covered in than sewage.
Fair enough.
Before we go, anything else you're in need of?
Well, you said you was passing through. Whereabouts are you headed?
El Presidio.
In that case, you'd be doing Cormac a great favor if you took this letter to someone at Vespuccia Petrol. Their office is in El Presidio.
Vespuccia Petrol, you say?
Aye, they's Cormac's employer. Been wanting a progress report on this rig.
Sure, we'll take the letter.
Quite a ways away.
Appreciates it.
Alright, we'll be going now. Promise you'll take more care.
Aye, Cormac will do his best. Farewell, and thanks again for helping old Cormac.
Oh, cool. I feel like I've heard of that. Definitely never read it, though. Sounds like it rings a bell. Alright. Updated my journal. Did we... Oh, we didn't read about the, Right, the wellspring. A purportedly curative wellspring. A dastardly confidence trickster of the lowest sort, named of Aubrey Trout, has set up a strange kind of racket beside a freshwater spring in the desert. It claims the waters will bring youth and vitality and cure all kinds of ailments. But he's not selling it. Instead, he invites all and sundry to come taste these miraculous waters for free. These promised wonders are supposedly due to some confluence of etherically sensitive materials that imbues the stuff with fantastical properties. The usual hogwash. I'm no scientist, but if ethericity can really work even half the miracles that capture the imagination of all these dabblers and mystics, we must all be on track to living like immortal wizards and gods very soon. Still, we have just seen with our own eyes the remarkable effects of ethericity on vegetable matter, at least, so who's to say for certain it couldn't do the same for us? Professing an improbably advanced age, belied by his looks, Mr. Trout swears the water confers a superhuman strength on those who drink it. By way of demonstration, the fellow proceeded to bend, or seemed to bend, a solid bar of metal with his bare hands. It certainly made for an impressive bit of stagecraft. Jake might look into adopting something like it to wow the crowds at his next show. In truth, the spring is tainted with a poison of some kind that'll knock whoever's gullible enough to take a sip sideways, just long enough for Trout to strip them clean of valuables. Jake was raring to become the fellow's next mark, but I convinced him to hold his horses long enough to turn up tangible proof of what should have already been plain to see. With some creativity on Jake's part, we taught the scoundrel a lesson and left him for the next travelers to deal with. But before that little escapade, Jake took me aside to set things clear between us, and he gave me the chance of airing any misgivings about our little venture. Nothing came to mind worth putting forth, but it made me wonder what he was expecting to hear. A restful spot alongside a tumultuous flow. I found Danny in a blue mood this morning, mind filled up with mournful remembrances of a lost companion on the anniversary of his death. I know that feeling. He told me about his old friend Petey from back home, the ringleader of his old posse. It would seem that Danny is drawn to big personalities. Petey was the one with the grand ideas for getting out of El Presidio and wearing matching outfits and turning outlaw and trying to rob a stage, which I suppose was the last grand idea he ever had since it got him and his friends killed. All of them but Danny. That is not the kind of thing that leaves you easy. Since he never got to say a proper goodbye, I joined Danny in assembling an impromptu memorial so we could finally lay that burden down. After all, there is no time like the present, and no place like wherever you happen to be. It is a nice spot, on the bank of the creek with the water rushing by. Not quiet, but a kind of ceaseless noise that makes peace. A lonely oil derrick. We stopped near Vespuccia petrol drilling site, a solitary derrick with just one man to operate it, a fellow transplant from Lamplight City who also felt some hankering to wander westward. How well prepared he is for the trade I cannot state with assurance, for we weren't there but a matter of seconds before he came tumbling down from his contraption and got tangled up in his rope, dangling over a steep drop into the pit below. We scrambled to assist and managed to get the fellow lassoed and dragged to safety. Danny gave us another display of his keen sharpshooting skills. I do wonder how the man will fare out here on his own. We left him perhaps a little rattled, but in almost unreasonably good spirits. A most curious fellow.
Can't think of anything to ask. Nothing to... Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
You think that charlatan at the spring learned his lesson?
I doubt he'll be trying that little scheme again anytime soon.
I appreciate the chat.
Anytime, Harley.
Hey, Danny, let's talk.
Sure.
So did you get PD's memorial sorted out?
Yeah, I think so. It was hard saying goodbye, but I needed to do it.
Goodbyes aren't easy. Never quite got the hang of them myself.
No?
I don't like to stick around in one place too long, so eventually I just move on. Figure I'll be back around again sometime later. But you don't always get another chance for a proper farewell.
Well, I hope you're not planning on leaving us just yet.
Nah, I like to finish what I start.
Leger, get up here a minute, would you?
What? Why me? What'd I do?
What's going on?
I don't much care for the looks of that sky.
No? Looks fine to me.
Give it half an hour and it won't. There's a dust storm coming. We need to seek shelter fast.
We can't just stop and wait it out on the wagon?
Even secured, there's a chance it could blow over. I'm not risking it. There's a house up ahead a ways. We'll stop and see if we can shelter there.
All right. I'll let the others know. Lola wasn't kidding about the storm picking up. Is someone living here? That sky is bad news. Hello? Anybody home? No answer. And wouldn't you know it, it's locked. Good thing I've got these lockpicks.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Can I help you with something?
my companions and I need a place to ride out the storm. We thought this house was abandoned.
Well, it's not. But how many are ye?
There's 6 of us. That's our wagon back there on the road.
Well then, go fetch 'em.
You're sure?
I won't have ye blow away on me porch. And you'll be keeping an old man company. So long as you're not bandits or thieves, are ye?
No, sir. We're fortune seekers. Of an honest sort.
Then we'll be getting along just fine. Now, get your folk in here quick, before we all get whisked to Kingdom Come.
This better not be a murder
Appreciate you
mansion.
letting us ride out the storm in here, sir. Mighty good of
Ooh,
you.
look at his peg leg.
Of course. As I told your mate, I'm glad for the company. Welcome to me home. I'm Captain Philip Boylan.
Pleasure's all ours. I'm Jake Ackerman. And this is Miss Leger, Mr. Luo, Mr. Marquez, Ms. Redbird, and Miss Johnson.
Fine-looking crew, sure. And not to worry, there's plenty of space here. I've a spare room upstairs and a settee in the library.
So, Captain Boylan, would that be a sea captain?
Aye,
We're a long way from water. What brought you out here?
there'll be time for trading tales soon enough. For now, I'll be needing some assistance. I was about to start supper. Seeing as I'm setting extra places, I could use a couple more hands.
I'd be glad to help.
As would I.
Ah, grand.
Could you use another?
Sure. All right, shall we? The rest of ye, make yourselves at home. I'll sound the gong when supper's ready.
Excellent work, galley crew. We'll be feasting within the hour.
You're fortunate to be so well provisioned. We recently visited a community that was having trouble with their crops, although Harley found a way to help.
So, Captain,
Aye?
where did all these potatoes come from?
Suppose the dust was kicking up already when ye arrived, so ye didn't see. They're from me own fields, just yonder.
You're a farmer then?
Just an old retired sea dog making do. I just thank God me crops have fared so well.
Captain, I was wondering,
Aye?
where did you get that gong?
Oh, that were a gift from an old friend who spent a few years sailing out of Shanghai. Is that from whereabouts ye hail yourself, Mr. Luo?
Me? Oh, no. That is, my parents came over from China, though I'm not sure where exactly. They never talk much about it. But my brother and I were both born in El Presidio.
Ah,
How come your parents didn't tell you where they came from?
They don't like talking about their old lives. I eventually gave up asking.
Such a shame. I never knew where my parents came from either.
well, the important thing is we're enjoying each other's company right here and now.
Right.
So have you ever been to China?
No. I hope to go someday, though. Maybe I can convince Jake to take his show overseas once this trip's over.
Awesome.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened.
Well, this should be plenty, thank ye. Why not go rest up? I'll sound the gong when supper's ready.
That was lovely. What an interesting life he's led.
I bet he's got as many stories as Jake. Speaking of which, I better go find him.
I'm going to look in the library. See you at dinner.
Come back, Nadine. I want to talk to you some more. You're cool. A safe harbor in a sudden storm. With a nasty dust storm threatening to blow us all over, at Miss Johnson's urging, we have sought refuge at the only human habitation for miles around. A tidy farmhouse kept by a retired sea captain named Boylan. It seems Captain Boylan has traded the close, damp quarters of a life at sea for far drier and sparser environs. The house itself is a veritable nautical museum, every part studded with maritime gewgaws and curios from the world over. I cannot imagine our hostess' frequent occasion to receive guests, but his gracious welcome struck me as quite sincere, even enthusiastic. We have been invited to shelter for the night and join him for dinner, in the preparation of which I, Danny, and Nadine have volunteered to assist.
An impressive weapon. That probably goes to a closet or a basement or something. If I had to guess, I'd say this came from someplace in Africa. Captain Boylan sure has gotten around. A seaside landscape. I'm detecting a theme. A painting of a harbor. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before.
Huh. That might be Lamplight City. Not sure, though. It's been too long since I've played it.
That probably... Locked.
It seems the good captain is an avid reader.
No kidding.
Ooh, he's got a guitar.
Who's that?
Palace, I believe.
These shelves are full of ship's logbooks. Captain Boylan had a long career. Nautical adventures, war stories, medieval romances, and frontier tales. We're in the middle of the desert, but it feels like we could be at sea. That's a nice instrument.
Isn't she? Very finely crafted. I wonder how the captain came by her.
The label says Barbados rum. Quite a collection, huh?
You know, Dr. Sedgwick was also fond of collecting. Not like this, though. Mostly things like medical diagrams, antique surgical implements, and wax anatomical models. When I was young, I used to go into his office to sneak peeks at the old books that had illustrations of people showing different afflictions. Pustules and lesions, scrofula, all the venereal diseases at once. that sort of thing. They were kind of horrifying, but also strangely fascinating.
Why, Nadine, you absolute scam.
I mean, tell me you didn't do stuff like that as a kid. Morbidly curious. Check out that.
Atlases, travelogues, and naval histories.
Check out that dynamic shadow. Whee! Look at that.
Agentum jug.
Say that 5 times fast.
Agentum jug, agentum jug, agentum jug, agentum jug, agentum jug.
Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum. Damn it. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum. Damn it. Agentum jug. Agentum. Damn it. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum. Damn it.
Oh, come on. I will do it.
Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum. Damn it.
Oh, come on. Is it possible?
Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug. Agentum jug.
Fine.
Such an intricate design.
Must have taken ages to carve.
I'm no expert, but it looks old, foreign, and valuable. Some kind of navigational instrument. I haven't a clue how it works. Admiring the captain's collection?
I am. Such curious objects.
Can't think of anything to ask. Classical dialogues, poetry, and natural philosophy. A poker for stoking the fire.
Harley, what are you doing? We are Captain Boylan's guests, not common bandits.
Okay, but now I feel like I'm gonna need it later. I am very suspicious of this. Something's gonna go badly wrong.
Miss Leger, eager for your supper?
Just looking around.
I'll sound the gong when it's ready.
Okay.
The plaque says the Corunna. Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. The port of Gascon, if I'm not mistaken. Been years since I've seen it. A plain old sea chest. I shouldn't be snooping around. Not without a good reason, anyway. It doesn't do much for me. A ship in a dense fog.
There's gonna be a skeleton curled up in the fetal position in that chest. And a bunch of beetles.
Hey, I've seen this sort of thing before. I believe it's called scrimshaw.
Cool.
It's got an old sailing ship on it. It's been carved with a whale design. It's got a seabird on it. A pelican, I think. Someone carved a lighthouse onto this. This is the water closet. Miss Johnson, there you are.
Yep.
Here I am. What is with this room? Why is this room a shithole? Huh.
Hell of a place this guy's got, huh?
Did you need something from me?
No, just making conversation.
Right. Excuse me, won't you?
Oh.
Can't see much aside from the wagon parked down there. Captain Boylan was quite dashing in his youth. A musty-smelling mess of laundry. I wonder what old Captain Boylan uses this for. Stargazing? Can't see much. I can just make out the wagon through the dust. At least it hasn't blown away. It's empty. Finely carved. Must be quality craftsmanship. I shouldn't be snooping around.
Wait a minute. Oh, no! I wasn't done! Damn it. Fine.
I can't remember the last time this table was so full. How are ye finding the fare?
Not bad.
Most satisfactory.
The very soul of rustic simplicity. Quite simple and, unadorned.
You didn't exactly jump at the chance to prepare this meal, Jake.
You're absolutely right. I didn't mean anything by it, just commenting. In any case, it's been a real pleasure having a proper meal at a table.
Been roughing it then?
And how? A campfire don't compare to this.
Where are ye folks headed?
El Presidio.
Ah, I used to sail out of there.
Since you know the city, have you got any advice for a first-time visitor?
If ye ask me, and you did, the heart of the city's the wharf. You'll not see a more eclectic mix of folk anywhere else.
You said you sailed from El Presidio, Captain Boylan?
Aye, for many a year. I used to captain a whaler.
No kidding. You must have some stories.
A fair few. I could tell ye about the largest beast we ever snared. The one what took me leg.
Ooh.
Go on then, tell us.
It was back in 25. We was circling a lagoon off the coast of New Spain. We were on the point of giving up, when suddenly, a great monster breaches off the port bow. She was the biggest I'd ever seen. I shouted the order to launch the whaleboats in pursuit. Me men put all their backs and all their hearts into rowing, and soon we was on her. All around, the water was churning white with foam. The beast surfaced again so close, we nearly capsized. But the harpooner had steady legs, and a steadier aim on him, and he struck true. Then, the battle began. Oh, how she thrashed and reared. Somehow, the rope got wrapped round me leg, and pulled, and tore almost clean through. I thought I was a goner for sure, but it wasn't over yet. At last, the beast tired out. We hauled her in just as it was getting dark. Cutting her up was no easy job. She was 50 foot if she was an inch. Got a good sum for all that oil and blubber. But it wasn't only the whale went under the knife that night. Doc cut me up too, taking care of what little was left of me leg by that point. Saved me life.
Quite a tale.
That poor creature.
I doubt you'd feel that way if you met one yourself, Missy.
How about we just finish our dinner? If anybody has an appetite left after that story.
Aye, fair enough.
Lola, you're such a complainer.
No, that was a fine meal.
She's got reason
And
to
a
be, though.
fine meal should be followed by some fine rum and conversation. Would ye care to join me in the library?
That sounds like a perfect way to pass the evening.
I'm going to retire. Sounds like the storm's died down, so I'm bunking in the wagon.
You sure that's a good idea, Miss Johnson?
I'm sure. See y'all bright and early.
I think Lola's got the right idea.
Sure you won't have some rum, Miss Redbird?
I'm sure. Thank you.
And for you, Miss Leger.
I'm suspicious, so no.
You can spare me a pour as well, Captain.
Aye, fair enough. A toast to new friends.
Cheers! Damn, where'd you say this stuff came from?
A gift from an old friend in Barbados. Best rum in the world, in my opinion. Got plenty more in me cellar. You're welcome to it. Now then, Mr. Marquez, I had a question for ye.
I may have an answer.
Am I mistaken, or are ye of the new Spanish persuasion?
I am, yes.
Ha ha ha! Grand! I'd like ye to have this.
Oh, hell yeah.
She belonged to an old friend of mine. New Spanish, like yourself. He used to play the most beautiful music. He left her to me when he died, but I always felt she should return to her proper home, as it were.
I'm honored.
Suppose I ought to have asked if you play.
In fact, I do. A little bit, anyway.
Go on, then. Give us a song.
Very well, but let me tune her first.
I did skip rum.
That should do. Now, let's see if I remember.
Woo. Dang, Phil.
Goodness, that was beautiful. Where did you learn that?
Thank you, Harley. I had a tutor as a child. My father insisted I learn to play something, so I chose the guitar.
Well, ain't you just full of surprises?
I think this calls for another round.
Here, here.
It's been a grand evening. But this old salt needs his beauty sleep. Stay up late as ye like. All I ask is ye not disturb me in me quarters. I'm not a light sleeper, but I can be a right bastard when startled.
I promise we'll steer clear and tiptoe quieter than the angels. Good night, Captain.
See ye all in the morning.
I bet that was his room that I
Don't know
accidentally
about you folks, but I ain't ready to bed down
didn't
just
go
yet.
into.
Yes, the night is still young.
Let's say we have a couple more rounds.
And the rum's all gone now.
Captain Boylan said he had more in the cellar.
I'll just go fetch a bottle or two.
Let's get crunk.
Oh, bad news. Cellar's locked.
Oh, chingada.
Guess the party's over, then?
Harsh.
Not necessarily. Harley, would you be so kind as to apply your skills to our little problem?
Yeah. I don't like this, but fine.
Sure, I can get that door open. I've still got my lockpicks, so it'll be a cinch.
Atta girl. Let us know when you done it.
The label says Barbados rum.
Please try not to get us in any trouble, Harley.
Listen, I blame everything on Jake. This is all Jake's fault.
Time's a wasting, Harley. Get that door open so we can keep the party going.
I don't know if this is a good idea, but once Jake gets something in his head, there's no stopping him.
I agree with you, Danny.
Have you gotten that cellar door open yet?
Agentum jug. Agentum, damn it. Definitely not the one that got away. full of matches. Don't mind if I do. The dinner gong. Can't imagine it gets much use. One of the doors is slightly open. I shouldn't be snooping around. This door goes into the captain's quarters.
Oh, maybe, okay. So he's here. Okay, I was expecting him to be upstairs.
The captain still has some old country pride. I can just hear Joni. A quill and ink, how charming. No mirror. I guess Captain Boylan doesn't do much preening here.
Oops.
The storm has eased up some. Better not. Don't want to risk waking him. You'd better make sure to be quiet.
Ah, it's got keys right there.
An old oak wardrobe. A set of keys. One of them must unlock the cellar. Better not. Don't...
Okay, before I do that, I want to look around a bit more.
It's empty. For an old sea captain, Boylan's got some rather modern conveniences. For an Captain Boylan keeps a tidy house.
He can't be bothered to replace the wallpaper.
Well stocked, but not with anything I need.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Weird.
Nice to be able to freshen up. Ah. Nice to... Wonder how Lola's doing out there. Evocative scene. Functional little nightstand with storage. I shouldn't be... Can't see much aside from the wagon parked down there.
I wonder if there's a way to reach this point in the game without having your lockpicks. Probably. Because I think you can... I think there's like... You don't even have... You never... I don't think you ever have to pick them up, do you? I don't know. Man, this is definitely a game that I want to play again. I think there's a lot of replay value in this game with like the relationships and like the different ways to solve puzzles.
The cellar door. Locked. I believe these are the kind of matches you can strike anywhere. A letter from Cormac addressed to Vespuccia Petrol in El Presidio.
I keep misreading that as patrol.
Shouldn't be too tricky. I've seen this kind of lock plenty of times. Shouldn't.
Okay, so it'll be like this. Tumbler locks. The key stays still, the diamond shines, turns up just once, then down 3 times.
The tension key. Don't pick locks without it. A hook pick. A snake pick. A diamond pick. This one's good for simple door locks.
Okay, wait. Show me that again. Key stays still, the diamond shines, turns up just once, then down 3 times. Okay. Badink. And badink.
Fantastic. Jake, Phil, I got it.
Nice work, Harley. Now let's go get that rum.
I cannot see a thing down here.
How about we light that wall lamp?
By which he means, hey Harley, light that wall lamp.
We are lucky to have made it down the stairs without tumbling down in the dark.
This is a Sierra game I never would have survived.
Gotta be matches around here somewhere.
This will help us see down here if we can light it.
Under boot. Nice.
Much better.
Now, about that rum.
What was that?
Sounded like the captain's voice. Come on.
Oh. Do you have
You
nightmares?
heard it too, huh?
Yes, it came from upstairs, I think.
It sounded like Captain Boylan, but aren't his quarters on this floor?
I thought the same.
Perhaps we should go see if he's all right.
Yep, you and Miss Redbird check the spare room. Danny and I'll check the bedroom. Harley, you look in the captain's quarters. We ain't got time to lose.
Okay. You're having bad dreams, Captain.
Odd. Captain Boylan's not here. Where could he have gone? Looks like a sea bunk. Guess old habits die hard. A set of keys. One of them must unlock the cellar. No need to worry about that anymore, though.
Oh. Yeah, I bet there's a scenario in which I get here without the lockpicks and I have to find a way to get the keys without waking the captain.
An old oak wardrobe. Can't really see anything in here. Hang on. What's this? There's a small switch in the back.
Oh,
Well, I'll be damned.
cool. Hang on, let me look in the drawer first.
There's an old book in here. A journal. Better take it.
Heck yeah, more reading material.
There's not much in here. I guess Captain Boylan didn't care much for writing. Here's an interesting passage.
Fisher landed another whale today on his first shot. I asked him how he managed it. Turns out he's been tying his wife's kerchief to the harpoon handle. Swears it brings luck and improves his aim. Ah, to be young and in love.
There's not much. Here's an.
Fisher landed and turns out he's been...
Okay. Oh,
Captain! You're still breathing, thank God. Hang on, I'll get help.
He appears to be fine physically, but he seems to be in some sort of trance.
A trance? How do you mean?
His eyes are open, but he's not really awake. He's gone within himself. I've seen people do this voluntarily, to meditate or relive certain memories, but Captain Boylan seems trapped.
Is there anything we can do?
creepy.
I'm not entirely sure. Did he say anything when you found him, Harley?
Not a word.
I'm at a loss. Something brought this on, but what?
Could it have something to do with this room? If he went to the trouble of building a secret passage, it must have some significance to him.
That's a very good point. I would say this place is a sanctuary.
But from what? The man lives alone in the desert already. What's he need a secret sanctuary for?
Look, on the wall there.
It's a sketch of Captain Boylan with 5 other men. His crew, maybe? There's a signature. A. Kranich.
Kranich?
Oh,
God forgive me.
Captain, can you hear me?
The doom? The doom!
What doom? What do you mean?
I came from nowhere. I ought to have taken heed. I ought to have let it take me.
Captain? Captain? He's unresponsive again.
Should I try repeating that name? See if he speaks again?
Perhaps not. Without knowing what's happening, we don't know how it would affect him.
I think I have an idea.
Yes?
That chair, the way it's positioned, facing that sketch, this room being hidden, I think something happened to those men. Something bad. And I think the captain blames himself for it. He probably comes in here to punish himself.
Oh, how you figure that?
Because, well, call it a hunch.
oh,
I don't know. Seems kind of far-fetched, don't it?
Not entirely. I've read some of the new theories about the study of the mind. A particularly traumatic event may have shaken Captain Boylan's sanity.
So, he has gone mad?
Yes, but he may not be beyond help. We could try to reach him. I could try a form of hypnosis.
Oh, sure. That's where you get him to cluck like a chicken, right?
Not at all. It means he would be calmed and put into a receptive state. Then we could speak directly with his unconscious mind. But to have the best chance, we would have to recreate the environment he's experiencing as accurately as possible.
Recreate the environment? Just how do you propose we do that?
We must each take on a role.
Oh, you mean like play acting?
Something like that. If we can each convincingly assume the identities of the men in that sketch, the captain may feel they are truly here with him. His fantasy will become clear, and we'll be able to guide him through and out of it.
Sounds just crazy enough to work.
But we know nothing about these men, aside from what they look like.
Which means we need to find out more. The more details we have,
Ooh.
the better.
Then let's
Fun.
put this show together. Harley, you're good at finding things. See if Captain Boylan had a diary or something.
All right, I'm on it.
way ahead of you. All right, time to go full Obra Dinn.
There's gotta be something we can do for him.
I must admit, this is all very odd. Though I do pity the captain.
Let me know when you found something that might tell us who those fellers in the sketch are.
There's gotta be something.
I hope we're able to help the captain.
Poor Captain Boylan. It's not easy living with demons.
Aw, Danny can relate.
Storm seems to be passing. That's Captain Boylan on the left. The 5 other men must be his crew, but I have no idea who any of them are.
All right, well, based on what we just read in the diary, I'm pretty sure this guy is Fisher. No idea about the other guys, though.
Boylan set up a sort of shrine from the look of it. There's not much in. Here's an interesting passage.
Fisher landed another way. Turns out he's been tying his...
What's this, a journal?
Captain Boylan's personal one.
I see. Well, I'll let you pore over it for any pertinent information.
I don't feel like reading.
I do not think we have the time to be reading books just now.
Yes we do, actually.
Unfortunately, I haven't got time to read the captain's journal right now.
Why? You're just standing around.
I'm not in the mood to read journals right now.
Oh, that won't help the poor man.
Alright, well, let's look around for some more clues. There's definitely some other nooks and crannies we haven't searched properly, so... should be something.
Not much inside. There is a folded up piece of paper. Seems to be a recipe for sea biscuits. There's a note. Your favorites. Told you they were simple to make. Perhaps someday you can whip some up for me. It's initialed G-O-M. Not much in seem. There's a note. It's in.
Grace O'Malley. Alright, haven't even looked in the cellar yet.
This crate's been emptied. Probably full of more rum. A crate chock full of rum bottles. Looks sturdy, but lightweight. A plain wooden stool. Useful for gaining some height.
It's never too late to start downing the
No
rum.
rum in here, surprisingly.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Another unlit lamp.
Ah.
There we are. No rum in here. Enough rum to last a lifetime. Or an evening. An old navigational chart. An old...
Can't do anything with it? Guess not.
These shelves are full of ship's logbooks. A bust of some lady in a helmet. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Nautical Agentum jug. 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 Agentum jug.
Oh, see, she can't do it when Phil is there.
This could be useful. Pointy.
Wait a minute.
Imagine bringing down a giant whale with something like that. Can't reach it from down here.
Gimme.
I feel sorry for the sea beast that gets one of these through its hide. The plaque says the Corunna. Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. And that other one there looks like one of the men in the attic sketch. I need to figure out exactly who it is.
Oh.
Spare linens and an old sketch. A sketch of a ship, the Derwent. There's a note. Captain Boylan, looking forward to our first voyage together. Signed A. Crannock. Crannock? That's the same name on the sketch in the attic. So the Derwent must be the ship I'm looking for.
Okay.
There's an empty bottle and a note in here. I'll take the note. Functional little nightstand with storage. Functional. Captain Boylan, I recommend taking 1 nitroglycerin tablet per day and avoiding overexcitement. Dr. Francois. A musty smell. I'll take this hat.
Hell yeah, free hat.
It's in surprisingly good shape for being so old. A bit tight, but not the worst look.
Cute.
Can't see much. Can't see. I can just make out the wagon. Looks like a navigational chart. I'll take it with me.
Ransacking his house.
Heavy. It's pure brass. There's a path drawn around an island that says Detour. The name of the island's been crossed out. It's got an old sail. It's been. I'll put back the one I'm carrying first.
Okay.
I'll put back. This is the water closet. These two charts show the same land masses. The island crossed out on my chart is called Hastram Scary.
Okay.
Captain Boy. A sketch of a ship. The Derwent. Captain... The plaques? Oh, that's interesting. And that other one there. I need to figure out a... Ah, here we are. The logbook for the Derwent. These shelves are full. The Derwent sailed out of El Presidio in 1830. Listed crew is Captain Philip Boylan,
sweet.
First Mate Michael Benelli, Navigator Karenga Payo, Harpooner Jalal Fisher, Dr. Jonas Francois, Cook George O'Malley, and Alfred Cranach, Profession Unlisted.
George O'Malley, not Grace. Grace O'Malley was a pirate. Okay, cool.
The plaque says... Oh, that's interesting. And that other... I need to...
I must admit, this is...
Let me know when you found...
I appreciate the offer.
I'm not sure what I'd do with that.
What do you got there, Harley?
I found the ship's log for the crew in the sketch.
Nicely done. Let's have a look. Alright, so we've got a first mate, navigator, harpooner, doctor, cook, and artist. We can probably leave that last one out.
Okay, so Danny can be the cook, Nadine the doctor, Phil the harpooner, you can be the navigator, and I'll be the first mate.
Oh, don't you think I ought to be the first mate?
Does it really matter?
Reckon not. Right, now all we need are some props.
Props?
Sure, for authenticity. Have another look at the sketch. Each of the crewmen is either wearing or holding something unique.
Ah, okay.
Jake's right. If we each have the appropriate item, it will increase our chances of convincing the captain that we are his former crew. I'd also suggest trying to learn at least one personal detail about each one, just in case.
Okay, I'll have a look around.
Bring me any items you find.
And let me know when you're ready to begin the performance.
This is a lot to keep track of. I'd better make a list.
Yes, please do. All right. Oh, good. Okay, so it already kind of fills in the stuff I've found out already. Boylan's crew props and information. First mate Michael Benelli. Prop info. Don't know either of those. Navigator Karenga Payo. Prop. Don't know. Info. Changed course to go around Hastram Scary. Harpooner Jalal Fisher. Ties wife's kerchief to harpoon for luck. Dr. Jonas Francois prescribed medication for Boylan's heart. George O'Malley, Boylan's favorite meal is sea biscuits. Okay.
Poor Captain Boylan.
That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log, these other men are harpooner Jalal Fisher, cook George O'Malley, Dr. Jonas Francois, first mate Michael Benelli, and navigator Karenga Payo.
Okay. Oh, he's got a book of diseases. Oh, but he's also got the scrimshaw. Looks like is that the one of the whale?
That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log...
Yeah, me too. Okay, so navigator's got the spyglass. Wait.
That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log...
Right, harpooner's got the harpoon, obviously.
Harpooner Jalal Fisher.
What's the
cook
cook got?
George O'Malley, Dr. Jonas Francois, first mate Michael Benelli, and navigator Karenga Payo.
Okay, first mate's got the hat. What's the cook got? Apron? Anchor tattoo? And who's being who?
I must admit, this is...
Not much seems to... There's a note. It's finished.
Can I make the sea biscuits?
Well stocked. The plaque said... Oh, that's interesting. And that looks like first mate Benelli. They must have been shipmates.
Okay, good.
I'll put back the one I'm carrying first.
Okay, Michael Benelli, sir, with Boylan on the Corona. Oh, maybe it'll, maybe it'll start filling in the prompts when I give them to, Jake.
Here, this is the hat first mate Benelli wore.
Perfect. I'll hang on to it.
A spyglass for Navigator Payo.
Great.
I feel so... Here's a harpoon for Mr. Fisher.
All right, this one's yours, Phil.
I do hope this works.
Here's a carved whale tooth for Dr. Francois.
This one's you, Miss Redbird.
That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log, these other men are harpooner Jalal Fisher, cook George O'Malley, Dr. Jonas Francois, first mate Michael Benelli, and navigator Karenga Payo.
I'm not seeing anything that the cook has for a prop. Yeah.
That's Captain Boylan on the left.
Yeah, it's
According
definitely
to
the one
ship's
with the
log,
whale in it,
these
the
other men
scrimshaw.
are
Trying to figure out which one, whether I gave them the correct one. I'm pretty sure I did. I feel like it's the anchor tattoo, but then where would I...
Boylan said
I haven't seen anything like that here. Let's look around some more. Hey, Eden Waith, by the way. Oh. Ink, of course.
I can just... The captain won't miss this for now.
Just draw that on someone.
The bottle's nearly full. I found this inkwell and quill. Should work for drawing O'Malley's tattoo on Danny.
Right. I'll hold on to this thing until it's time. Nice work, Harley. I think we got all the props we need.
Alright. Danny, how do you feel about getting your first tattoo? Let's make it a stick and poke. Oops.
Is everything ready to go? Keep in mind, we'll likely only get one chance at this.
I'm still looking around.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I think I have everything.
Is everything... Keep in mind...
I think so. I've found everything I can.
Excellent. Let's gather everything together and get started. I'll begin. Then we can each say who we are. Captain Boylan, hear the voices of your former crew.
Me crew?
Go ahead, Harley. You start.
First mate Michael Benelli reporting for duty, Captain Boylan.
Oh.
Michael. Can it be?
Oh,
Captain Boylan, it's Karenga Payo, your navigator.
cool.
Hi-oh! You're alive?
Captain Boylan, it's me, George O'Malley. Supper is almost ready.
Ah, yes, I can smell it. Delicious.
Captain Boylan, I am Jalal Fisher, harpooner.
Of course, Fisher! I knew ye'd made it.
And I am Dr. Jonas Francois.
Doc! Oh, Doc, how I've needed ye.
Cool.
Ooh. Can it be?
Yes, Captain. We've come to speak with you.
But you're not some devils sent to trick me?
We are not, I assure you.
Prove it then, Benelli. If it's truly yourself, tell me the name of the ship we served on before the Derwent.
Excelsior. No.
How could I forget the Corona?
Aye, an unforgettable ship she was. Ah, Michael. I don't know how it'd be possible, but it's good you're back. Payo!
Aye, Captain.
Remind me of the course correction ye made this morning?
We're going around Hostrom Skerry.
That's right. I remember now. Fine work, Payo. That'll surely save us some time. Fisher, have ye your harpoon at the ready?
Aye, sir.
And your aim will be true?
Yes, I have my wife's lucky kerchief tied to the handle.
Ah, good. Then our hunt is sure to succeed. O'Malley?
Sir?
I believe I know that delicious scent. But remind me what it is you're making.
Something with fish in it.
Why, your favorite, of course. Sea biscuits.
As I suspected, I can hardly wait for a taste.
Captain, I recommend you take it easy.
Why is that, Dr. Francois?
I don't want you to put any stress on your heart. Have you been taking your nitroglycerin tablets?
I have. I think I have. I can't believe what I'm seeing and hearing, but y'all are really here. But how can this be? I saw y'all dragged under. I can't make sense of this.
Perhaps you still can. Tell us what you remember.
20 years ago, the Derwent left El Presidio on the hunt for whales. We'd been out for months, with almost naught to show for it. A wretched haul, wretched pay. Benelli came to me, saying the crew was getting agitated, yearning for home. Forgive me, Benelli. I ought to have listened to you. After the third time you tried to speak sense, I tossed you in the brig for insubordination. One more, I said. We'll not turn for home before we bring in one more whale. Hyo and Fisher, at least, were keen. I saw the signs, but didn't want to believe them. Didn't want to turn back. But there was a devil of a storm brewing, and he brought us down. Poor Benelli, locked in the brig, to drown like a rat. And the rest of ye didn't stand a chance once the ship turned over. Brave, brave Fisher. You saved me life when it ought to have been me what went down with the Derwent. Ah, lads, that night's been eating away at me for 20 years. How I wish I could go back. How I wish I could make things right.
But you can't. The past is the past, and what's done is done. The best you can do is learn to accept and live with it.
But how? You 5 brave men died because of me.
Yet you were given a second chance. You can tell our story. Make sure we're never forgotten. Honor our memory.
It won't ever stop hurting. But you can take the pain and turn it into something good.
I suppose you're right. I swear I'll do right by all of ye. Thank ye. You've given me a moment of peace. I hope to God you've found it as well. Oh, I am weary.
Think it worked?
I hope so. Come, we should get some sleep. And let's refrain from mentioning this to the captain in the morning.
Hey.
Appreciate your hospitality, Captain.
Think nothing of it. I hope you all slept well.
Very much so. And yourself?
Best sleep I've had in years.
I'm glad to hear it.
Ye said you were headed to El Presidio?
That's right.
Then I wonder if I might trouble ye for a small favour. I've a letter needs delivering. Could I entrust it to ye?
Of course.
My thanks. I'd also like to leave ye with a couple of mementos for being so quick to volunteer and help out. Mr. Luo and Miss Redbird, please, take this bottle of Barbadian rum.
Hell yeah.
Perhaps ye might split it between ye. Makes dull work go faster.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind.
And for you, Miss Leger, this tea caddy. I carved the inlay myself.
It's beautiful.
Best of luck on your journey. And if ye ever pass this way again, feel free to knock on me door.
Thanks, Captain, we will.
Our stay at Captain Boylan's farmhouse was anything but dull. I can't say for sure whether we truly helped him for good and all, but he seemed himself again when he saw us off this morning. I do believe he was truly lonely in his self-imposed exile and grateful for even the brief company we offered.
I guess that explains why he was like
After traveling half
in the middle of
day,
the desert.
we stopped for a brief rest, and Nadine has asked me to accompany her on an excursion into the desert. For what purpose, I shall soon learn.
He's trying to distance himself from the ocean, I guess.
Thank you for accompanying me, Harley.
Not a problem. What are we doing exactly?
Gathering firewood. There's probably plenty of petrified wood, but we should be able to find some useful scrub.
How come you asked me to come with you anyway?
You would have preferred I ask someone else?
No, just curious.
I thought it would be nice to spend some time together. Get a moment to breathe.
Yay!
Big groups aren't my favorite.
Yes, I can see your point.
Over here looks promising.
Yay! A stormy night. Our stay at Captain Boylan's farmhouse was anything but dull. The evening began pleasantly enough with a simple meal of potato stew, followed by drinks before the fire. Phil revealed to us his musical talents when Captain Boylan made him a gift of a handsome new Spanish guitar. Later that night, we learned that our seemingly jovial host was a sufferer of fierce nocturnal disturbances. Turning the house upside down, we had last discovered him holed up in a secret attic shrine dedicated to the memory of a ship lost at sea, of which he was the sole survivor. Having failed in his duty to go down with his ship, he has, it seems, been a haunted man ever since. Nadine diagnosed his strange trance-like condition and guided us in an attempt to draw him out of it through a form of hypnosis, by assuming the guises of the doomed crew. Okay, and then we read this already, or she recited that already. Grateful for the brief company we offered, he also entrusted us with a letter to be delivered to the widow of his first mate in El Presidio. After traveling half the day, we have stopped for a brief rest, and Nadine has asked me to accompany her on an excursion into the desert. Blah, 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 blah. Cool.
It's a beautiful wooden box with an inlaid scrimshaw carving. Says it's from Ceylon. There's some tea in here.
Ooh.
Leftover tea from the other side of the world. It's got a nice fruity aroma. Kind of sweet.
I bet it's Ceylon tea. I have some in the house right now. It's a little bit, little citrusy. It's nice.
It's addressed to the Widow Bonelli. There's no specific address. It just says El Presidio. Leftover. Someone dropped their flask here.
Yoink.
Whew, that is some strong-smelling stuff. There's still a little bit of liquid in here.
I am not going to sip it.
There, over by that flintstone. That branch is perfect. I'll let you do the honors. There, over. I'll let you.
This branch still has some leaves on it. Nadine said this was flint. Nadine thinks this will make good firewood. Surprisingly light. Suppose there's more around here?
Undoubtedly. It probably came from that tree over there. Let's split up. I'll check beyond the tree. You search the area to the south. Once you've gathered enough, we can meet back here and sort it.
Okay. Good luck, I guess.
And to you.
Riveting.
This should do for firewood. This branch still has a few leaves.
What craziness am I going to come across?
Looks like a good piece of wood. This will do nicely. Stuck under that rock, though. A piece of torn cloth. Looks like it came from a shirt or a jacket. Looks like it came... This branch isn't going anywhere without coaxing.
Well, then coax it.
That's not going to get the wood out. That... That...
Here, branch. Come here, branch. Come on. Where's a good branch? Yeah, something definitely went down here.
Somebody lost their satchel out here. Not much in here except a rusty knife. But a rusty knife is better than no knife at all. The steel's pretty rusted, but it still holds an edge. Somebody... A bunch of rocks. Desert's full of them.
Oh.
Damn
Stick.
it! Fast, little son of a gun.
What? Okay. You just really wanted that stick, huh?
A bunch of rock. A plain old desert rock.
Like the Korok puzzle. Yeah, like they're clearly arranged in some kind of puzzle configuration.
Damn it! Where did that varmint get to? Come on! Got it. This should do for firewood.
Hello.
Well, well, look who it is. Smug little bastard. Gotta figure out how to get him to drop that stick.
Do you want a better stick?
Hey, look! I've got a stick of my own. Wanna trade? Guess not.
Oops.
Smug. Woof! That's definitely whiskey. How about a little whiskey? It was worth a try.
Yeah, if I had a steak, I would. Okay, I think what I'm probably going to have to end up doing is something like this.
I'll just wrap this cloth around the end of the branch. I've got the beginnings of a torch. There. Now the cloth is soaked in alcohol.
Yeah, I need, see, I should have picked up some of those flowers from back when I was, over at the river with Danny. Oh wait, I need steel, not...
Nothing.
Yeah.
Guess banging rocks together doesn't actually make fire.
Flint and steel, not flint and rock.
Sparks. Good to know I can start a fire if I need to. Fantastic. How about that? I've made fire. Go on, get out of here. I should pick this up quick before anything else decides to snatch it. Nadine's never going to believe what I went through to get this.
All this just for a stick.
Right, that should be enough. Now to find Nadine.
It sounds like you went to some lengths to gather that wood.
Hey, the branch is back.
Did you fare any better?
Nothing so exciting. Just gathered a bit with some patient searching. You said a coyote ran off with one of the branches?
Yeah, sneaky little thing. I improvised a torch and scared it off with fire.
Clever. You outsmarted the trickster. You know, Vespuccian natives tell many stories about Coyote the trickster. He's never quite either good or bad, but he's always getting into scrapes and causing trouble. Would you like to hear one?
Hell yeah.
Please, I'd like that.
Okay, but first,
What are you doing?
you'll see. Now then.
Oh, cool.
Coyote went to visit Kingfisher because he was out of food. Brother, what have you got to eat? I'm very hungry. Kingfisher didn't like this rude way of talking, but he flew to the top of his lodge, then flew to the river and down through a hole in the ice. He came back up with many fish. The two ate until their bellies were full, and Coyote went home. The next day, Coyote climbed up onto the roof of his
I love this
lodge.
art.
"What are you doing up there?" asked his wife. "Why, you know I've done this before. I'm getting food for our supper." Coyote jumped off the roof, down to the river, but he missed the hole and broke his neck and was killed.
Oh no. Oh.
Kingfisher, who had been nearby, walked over to where Coyote was. He jumped into the river and emerged with many fish. Then he jumped over Coyote 4 times, and Coyote came back to life.
Cool.
"This is my way, not your way," said Kingfisher. "I do not imitate others like you do." He handed Coyote the fish before leaving. Coyote went back to his wife and showed her the fish. "Look at these big fish. I caught them the way Kingfisher does. Kingfisher is afraid of my power. He told me not to do this again. He knows my medicine is strong." Coyote's wife cooked the fish.
God damn it, Coyote.
Wow, that's a hell of a tale.
I always found it rather compelling.
So where did you hear the story?
Actually, I read it in a book. Myths and Legends of the Native Vespuccians. Dr. Sedgwick bought it from a traveling bookseller. I think he was of two minds about giving it to me. On the one hand, I know he considered it frivolous heathen claptrap. But on the other hand, he thought it might be meaningful to me, having something connected to my origins. He was right. I cherished that book, devoured it. It was written by a white man who was supposed to have traveled all around the country collecting native folk tales. Sometimes I wonder if he ever left the publishing office in Bright Bay. Maybe he just made them all up. I preferred to believe that there was something authentic about them, though.
I imagine the writer did a fair bit of massaging to make the stories palatable to the book-buying public. Editors are finicky about what they'll publish. And who even knows if the people he got the stories from were just telling him what he wanted to hear. But somewhere in there is the seed of the original stories and the truths they have to tell. If putting them in a book helped them reach more people, like you, then that's a good thing, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
Anyhow, I liked the way you told it. It's your story now.
That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Here, for you.
Aw. Aw.
Oh, this is really well done. Thank you.
Shall we head back now?
Sure, let's go.
Aw, Nadine. Shouldn't have. Yeah, can you carve me a little wooden road runner so they can, you can have something to chase? Alright. Perfect time to call it quits for the night. Aw, that was fun. That was some good adventures tonight. Alright, I wonder what we're gonna get into next. But we'll have to find out next week. Because it is about time for me to call it a night. So let's find someone else to raid if there is anyone around. Ooh. Well, Taco Adventure is playing Zero Escape, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Which, I mean, how could I not raid that? Because the Zero Escape trilogy is fantastic. I played it on my channel a while back. Let's do it. Oh, looks like he's just starting out too. Cool. Awesome. So I will see you folks next. Well, no, I'll see you tomorrow because tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll be doing some more Deadly Premonition. And then next week, more Rosewater. Hooray. So thank you for coming, everyone. Hope you had a good time tonight. I did. I am, as always, loving the heck out of this game. Looking forward to more. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.